Also, tell me, what video was it that really resonated with you as a kid that sticks in your memory? So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to become an official Glitter Critter if you haven't already. And remember to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and I just created a new Twitter account, or I'm sorry, X account. I will never get used to calling it X. So this new account is Glitter Forever with 2 R's at the end of ever. So Glitter Forever R. Make sure you follow that Twitter. As a lot of you may know, I had a video go viral back in, I think it was 2012, probably off on that year, and it was all about my permanent makeup or my permanent eyeliner, the whole process. That video is now at 14 million views on my original channel, Glitter Forever 17. It's nostalgic for me to go back and watch it because I recently watched it before I filmed this video, and it's so crazy just hearing myself talk back then and seeing how I used to edit. It's nostalgic for me as well as you. And ever since I posted that video, I have always had people ask me about my permanent makeup or my permanent eyeliner. It's a very interesting subject, and y'all have lots of questions about it. Plus, I've had mine for a really long time, so I can tell you whether or not it's faded. Am I still happy with it? Would I recommend it? I have all the questions here in front of me that y'all asked me on my community post. Thank you to all the Glitter Critters who posted a question on my community post because I had asked y'all to ask me questions, and I got a lot of Glitter Critter questions, as I always do. Glitter Critters, Glitter Critters. Y'all like it when I say Glitter Critters? Glitter Critters, Glitter Critters, Glitter Critters, Glitter Critters, Glitter Critters. I can't say it any faster. So let's start with a question that nobody asked. And that is, where did you get your permanent eyeliner done? I know no one asked it, but I always like to give a shout out to the place that did my permanent makeup because they are so incredible. Back in the 80s when they first opened up, yeah, I know it was a long time ago, that's when I was born, back in 1987, the lady who started this place, which is called Advanced Cosmetic Techniques, enacted expensive, and I don't even know if it's possible to remove a tattoo from your eye. So let's say it turns out horrible. You're stuck with it when you're doing anything to your face. You always want to be careful what business you're going to. It's so important because there's a lot of back alley permanent makeup artists who do this sort of thing in nail salons and just places that you shouldn't be having someone put something permanent on your face. It's just not a good idea. This leads me to the next question I always get is, how much did I pay for my permanent eyeliner? So with advanced cosmetic techniques, they have a whole price list on their website. I will link their website in the description below. Obviously, this isn't sponsored, but I've always had a great relationship with them, and they have a quality service, so of course, I'm gonna tell y'all about it. So it's linked in the description. Whenever I asked them about getting permanent makeup, the first question they ask me is, do you want it on the top? So whenever I asked them about getting permanent eyeliner, some of the questions they asked me were, do you want it on the top and the bottom? I'm going to be using this later to show you my permanent makeup up close. So they ask me, do you want, there's a hair on it, gross. Do you want permanent eyeliner on the top and the bottom? Or do you only want it on the bottom or only want it on the top? And of course I opted to get it on the top and the bottom with a wing. You can choose whether you want a wing or maybe you don't want a wing. It's all up to you. I really like pointing, even though pointing's supposedly rude anyways. I feel very smart with this thing. It's like my magic wand. And the reason I'm telling you this is because that factors into the price. So let's say you want the top done. The top is going to be $200. And then if you want the bottom, it's going to be another $100. I believe I paid $200 or $300 for the top. And then if you want the bottom, they add on maybe another $100, something like that. So I believe they do it as a pair, but they are individually priced. All in all, the total price was about $500 for the top and the bottom eyeliner. So I just went on their website recently, and they have their price list. They now charge $3.75 for eyeliner. And I'm not sure if that's for both top and bottom, or just the top or just the bottom. I don't think I saw separate pricing for the bottom or the top, but anyways, I'm getting way too into this and detailed. I'm sorry, not sorry. Some of y'all said y'all like it when I get really detailed. Oh, don't worry, I will. When it comes to permanent makeup, you don't just have to get eyeliner. They can do your brows, blush, lip let's say if you have a scar or a birthmark that you really hate, they can go in, and because they're such amazing artists, they can fix something that you don't like. Let's say you have an ugly brown discoloration on your cheek. They can go in and cover that up with your skin tone color. So whatever your skin tone is, they can match it to your actual skin tone, and they can cover up any imperfections or discolorations on your face. And I find this to be extremely useful, especially for people who have scars that they don't like, or maybe a birthmark that you don't like. This is an extremely useful cosmetic tool, not just elective cosmetics, but reparative. Is that a word? We're gonna make it a word. Reparative cosmetics. So they also do permanent concealer for your dark circles under your eyes. This is an amazing procedure if you struggle with dark circles and you're just tired of spending all that money on expensive concealer. Why not spend that same money on permanent makeup and just have it on forever, right? I'm a bit leery about the concealer permanent makeup because let's say if your skin changes colors, I don't know if the permanent makeup is gonna blend with your skin, especially if you get a tan on your face. Will the concealer still be a lighter color? I'm not sure. Don't ask me that, but that is something that I would definitely consider. So now that you know where I got it done, how much I paid, let's talk about the actual procedure. Does it hurt? Can you feel the needle going in and out of your eyeball? So to answer your questions, it can hurt, but thank the Lord for lidocaine. So they take this lidocaine cream and they slather it all over the area. So let's say you're getting eyeliner, they put it all over your eyes and they let that get numb for about 30 swollen shut with crust, and they're crusted over. I remember the next morning I woke up and my eyelids were so swollen and they were crusted over. And in order for me to open my eyes, I had to go and wet my eyelids with warm water and get them to open. I know it sounds like a nightmare, but it is. I'm kidding. It's not that bad, but it can be very surprising. It's like something that a lot of people don't think about until it happens, and your eyes are gonna sting for the first couple of days. So just like a traditional tattoo, permanent makeup crusts over and scabs, and then it peels off to reveal the finished product, the finished tattoo. Tattoo, 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 tattoo. That's fun to say. Here I am without makeup. Obviously, I'm gonna be doing this portion of the video without makeup, so you can see my permanent makeup in all its glory. I'm gonna be using this to trace and show you a better look at my permanent makeup. So let's zoom this baby in. And yes, I know my highlight is blinding. I know you're gonna ask me where I got that highlight. It's Jeffree Star Lick My Glit. It's so fitting for me. Anyways, starting on my top line from the inner corner, it goes from here all the way out to this little wing here. The permanent makeup artist did such an amazing job on the wing. It turned out fantastic. And some of you asked me, am I happy with the results? Some of you asked me if I'm happy with the results, and I'm over the moon happy with my results. I'm even in love with the results today, over 10 years later. So now let's trace the bottom. It starts from the inner corner, and it's just beneath my waterline. Start here. From here, all the way out, connecting to the tip of the wing. Let's do that again. From here, all the way out to the tip of the wing. It starts in the inner corner and goes all the way out and connects to the tip of the wing. Look at that. It doesn't matter what angle. I feel like the wing and everything is all connected so gracefully. You know how sometimes eyeliner can look kind of jagged from another angle and just not as even? That has never been the case with my permanent eyeliner. It's always looked so good from all angles. Now let me show you the bottom again. So it goes from the tip of the wing all the way let's do the under eye. You can clearly see how well the line was drawn from all angles, just like the other. Look at that. Not a bad angle. The artist did a fantastic job. Now let's trace the bottom. Let's start from the tip of the wing. All the way to the inner corner. From here, all the way to the tip of that perfect wing. Look at that. Looks so good. And look how this eyeliner looks like it was done a year ago. You may be surprised to believe that this eyeliner is over 10 years old with 0 touch-ups. Absolutely no touch-ups. Start here and go all the way to the inner corner like that. Look how opaque that permanent eyeliner is, even after 10 years. No touch-ups. Look at that. Looks beautiful. So one of the questions I was asked was, am I happy with it? Absolutely, I'm very happy with it. I mean, look how perfect it is. Look at that wing. Immaculate. One of my glitter critters had asked me if my permanent eyeliner had faded. I want you to tell me, does it look like it's faded to you? It looks almost exactly the same as it did when I first got it after it healed. Of course, it did fade subtly, but nothing that was outrageous. But it's definitely held up a lot better than some tattoos I've seen. I feel like the fact that this skin here is so delicate, it tends to hold on to the ink a lot better than, let's say, your arm or your leg when you would get a traditional tattoo. And this, I don't know, I think maybe because the grain of the skin on the eyelid is just so much more fine. There's not really any pores, and therefore there's more of a density of skin, ironically, even though this is a very sensitive area. I really do think it has a lot to do with the fineness of the skin. Although it is very sensitive, it's also a lot more dense at the same time. And what I mean is, there's not any huge skin pores or anything on the eyelid. It's just extremely fine. I hope that makes sense. it's not like you can't get it done, which I don't understand who would want to go through that to get it done, because ouch. I don't even know if they could put numbing on it that well, because it would just come right off. Could you imagine having a tattoo needle piercing your waterline 1,000 times in a minute? I cannot, and I wouldn't want to. That's nightmare fuel. Ouch. I'm happy to report that the wing is not faded or looking incomplete due to fading. It still looks really good. And I am so happy about that. Now, if it were to fade, of course I can go back to have touch-ups, and a lot of people do. I haven't went back for touch-ups because I have not felt the need to do so. But the good thing about touch-ups is touch-ups are not as expensive as the initial procedure. You tell me, does it look faded or does it still slay? I think it still slays. I had minimal fading with mine. It stayed pretty black for a very long time. And as you saw from that clip, it's still extremely opaque for how old it is. Over 10 years old. And it still looks pretty darn good. Another question I get asked is, am I still happy with the results? And did it age well? I'm pretty sure I've already answered this question, but I would say mine aged like a fine wine. I am still very happy with the results, and I've recently thought about going back to have it redone, although I would not want it to look like this. I would, however, love to have it a little thicker and maybe even a little tiny bit thicker of a wing. So in the future, I may explore those options, and of course, I will document it. I would definitely recommend this to anyone out there who absolutely loves makeup. You wear it on a daily basis. Someone who wants to have makeup on 24/7, even when you swim in the pool, it's always going to be there. And other things that permanent makeup can help with is, as I said, scar cover up. This can be anywhere on your body, not just your face. Or if you have discoloration, if you want those dark circles gone, maybe you want to make your lips look a little bit bigger with some sort of permanent lip liner. They do that as well. They do everything. I think permanent makeup is an amazing cosmetic tool. And the best part is it's easy to cover up. So the next question is it the same as a tattoo that you would get in a tattoo shop? How was the healing process in permanent makeup versus a tattoo? Unfortunately, I can't answer this because although I have permanent makeup asked this in the past is permanent makeup the same as a tattoo? Some people would say yes and some would say no. It is a bit different of a process. I believe the needles are smaller when it comes to permanent cosmetics, and permanent makeup tattooing actually has a name. It's called Microdermapigmentation. Microdermapigmentation. It's a long word. Google that if you want to read more about it. But supposedly there is a slight difference, but some would say it's the same. The next glitter critter question I got was, does it affect my lashes? Did the tattoo process ever interfere with my lashes, especially lash density, that sort of thing? Absolutely not. I did lose some lashes though, due to the scabbing, but other than that, never affected my lash density. So the last question I always get, probably the most common question I get asked, do you regret it? Do you regret getting permanent makeup? Actually, no, I totally lied. This is not the most common question I get. I'll get to that at the end as the official last question. But this question is second place. Do I regret it? And do I ever wish I never got it? At this point in my life, I do not regret it. I know I had made a video on Glitter Forever 17 a while ago. It was called Why I Regret Getting Permanent Makeup. And the only reason I made up a bunch of stuff about it is because it was a very popular question and I was trying to make money. I was mostly just doing it for the views, and it worked. I mentioned in that video that sometimes my lash line or my permanent makeup itches. And I've also read that regular tattoos itch too. Let me know if that happens if you have a tattoo. Other than that, it's been smooth sailing. I've got my little pointer again for this last question, which I get this question on TikTok every single time I go live. And the question is, do you still have your permanent makeup? Just listen to the question. Do you still have your permanent, keyword being permanent, makeup? So let me know in the comments if you have any more questions about it. Feel free to go and watch the original permanent makeup video on Glitter Forever 17. I will link all of the videos that I've done about my permanent makeup in the description below. So if you're still awake, comment below how you found me on YouTube, how old you were when you first started watching me, and how old you are now. Which video was it that you remember from my channel the most? Thank you again for almost 2,000 glitter critters here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Before you drift off to sleep, I just want you to know that I love you. I appreciate you. I'm really proud of you. I know you worked so hard and you're doing your best, and that's all that matters, okay? Count your blessings, because life can definitely get worse. I'm always here to remind you of that. It gets worse. Okay, I'm kinda kidding, kind of. So I thank you so much for watching.